Markandeya was one of the greatest devotees of Lord Shiv. According to legend, his fate was sealed. He was destined to die at the age of 16. But his devotion was so pure, so unshakable, that even Yam, the god of death, could not claim him. When Yam came to take Markandeya's life, the young boy clung to the Shivling, chanting the Lord's name with full surrender. Moved by his devotion, Lord Shiv himself manifested, drove Yam away, and blessed the boy with immortality. It is said that Markandeya roams the earth even today, forever young, forever radiant. Markandeya is also remembered as the author of Markandeya Puran, a beautiful text containing many stories tied to the Mahabharata. Most Purans are written as dialogues between sages and kings, but the Markandeya Puran is unique. It is a dialogue between sage Gemini, a disciple of Ved Vyas, and four enlightened birds, Pingaksh, Sumukh, Vibodh and Suputra, sons of the warrior Drona. These divine birds had attained extraordinary wisdom and answered Gemini's deepest questions. One such question was, why did the Up-Pandavas, sons of Draupadi, die before marriage, despite having the divine protection of Lord Krishna? To answer this, the birds narrated a story from the Treta Yuga, the era before Ram. In the Treta Yuga, there lived the legendary king Harishchandra, a ruler from the Solar dynasty. He was the very embodiment of truth and righteousness. His kingdom flourished under his noble rule, and the people adored him. One day, while hunting in the forest, Harishchandra suddenly heard desperate cries. "Help! Please help me!" Startled, because such cries were unheard of in his peaceful kingdom, the king rushed towards the sound. But it was an illusion. The Lord of Obstacles had created this illusion to break the penance of sage Vishwamitra, who was meditating nearby. The king's loud response unintentionally disturbed the sage's deep meditation. Realizing his mistake, Harishchandra fell at the sage's feet. "Forgive me, revered one. I heard someone calling for help. I meant no disrespect." Vishwamitra, still stern, asked, "What will you give a sage who comes seeking alms?" Relieved that he was not being cursed, Harishchandra replied humbly, "Whatever you ask, O sage." "I ask for everything you own," Vishwamitra said bluntly. The king, detached from material possessions, agreed. "It is all yours, revered one." The sage then declared, "Since the kingdom now belongs to me, you have no place here. Leave immediately with your family." Harishchandra obeyed. With his wife Queen Saya and son Rohitashva, he left the kingdom. As they departed, Vishwamitra appeared again. "I am not satisfied with the dakshina you gave. I want more." The king replied, "I have nothing left except our bodies, but I promise I will repay you." The sage demanded a time frame. 1 month, Harishchandra declared. But when he paused to console his weeping subjects, Vishwamitra appeared again, furious. "You lie! You promised to leave, yet you linger here. Do you dare defy my words?" Harishchandra immediately left, not wishing to dishonor truth even in thought. When Vishwamitra raised his staff to strike the pious king, even the heavens trembled. The 5 Vishwadevas, outraged at the mistreatment of such a virtuous king, descended and confronted the sage. "How can you torment a man who is the very symbol of truth? Is this justice?" But Vishwamitra, angered that celestials questioned him, declared, "If you think you understand Dharma better than I, then be born as humans. Only then will you know the complexity of karma." He added another condition: "You shall have no wives and no children. Only after living as mortals will you return to your celestial form." Thus, the 5 Vishwadevas were born in the Dwapar Yuga as the 5 sons of the Pandavas and Draupadi. Prativindya, son of Yudhishthir; Sutsom, son of Bhim; Shrutkarma, son of Arjun; Shatanik, son of Nakul; and Shrutsen, son of Sahadev. Bound by the curse, they were destined to die young, before marriage and without children. This destiny was fulfilled when Ashwatthama killed them in their sleep after the Kurukshetra war. Through this tale, the birds explained that the Uppandavas died not due to the lack of Krishna's protection, but because they were fulfilling the divine curse given in a previous age. Destiny flows across lifetimes, and even the greatest souls must complete their ordained paths. Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe.